the Ultimate Racing League. This is our Wednesday multi-class challenge, so we've got the GR1s and the GR3 cars on track at the same time, so two championships running one alongside the other. We are at round 7, excuse me, so we are over halfway. So yeah, we are at round 7, and I'm just checking that we are actually live. So if anybody does jump on and can see we're live, then great if you can let me know. I can never tell whether we are actually broadcasting or not. We've had a few glitches, but we'll crack on anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run down the league table as it stands going into this race. So up to and including round 6. So for the GR1s, we've got Fitzy leading the way. I'm just sorry, I just need to check this again. Bloody technology, me and technology, it's not the greatest of mixes, I must admit. But just bear with me for a second, and I have asked if somebody will do it. I think we're live. I think we are. So anyway, right, sorry, back to the league table. I'm distracted there. So the league table for the GR1s, for the Group 1 cars, we've got Fitzy leading the way on 95 points. Wadru just behind him on 93. Toby a few points back on 83 points. So that's your top 3. Brian Moncani also on 83 points. So joint third there between Brian and Toby. Brian unfortunately missing tonight. So some good points for Toby to be had. Neil Farmack on 73 points, Matt on 60, Fazer on 52, and Chuck on 12. But Chuck, to be fair, did join the league late. So for the GR3s, we've got Derview 86 topping the table on 113 points. Grasshopper just behind him on 100. Unforgiven has got 71 points. Osman just 1 point behind on 70. C. Brownie is on 57 points. Then we've got Slowpoke and Stealth, myself and Stealth on 56 points, and Biggie on 51 points. So the bottom 4, not a lot in it. Same with the top 4, really. Just getting out there on 113 points, with Grasshopper 13 points. So a lot of points up for grabs. It's all to play for. It's all getting very, very tight. So on with this one. As I said, it is round 7, and we have come over to Japan, and we are on the Suzuka circuit, and I've got paper everywhere. 3.6 miles long, 18 turns, very technical track, very twisty, very turny. Now I'm going to make some excuses for myself just before we do kick off. Those that tune in regularly, you will know that I say just about every track that we race, I say it's not my favourite and I don't like this track. And Suzuka's no different. I'm not over keen on it. It's not a bad track, it's just that I'm not over keen on it. So don't expect too much from me, as you don't anyway. The other thing is I've been having all sorts of trouble with my wheel and pedals, so braking does become a bit of an issue. So there's my excuses out of the way early. So we'll have a rundown of the grid. Obviously the GR1s are at the front now. It is the grid lines up in reverse order to what they are in the league table, if that makes sense. It will do as we go down anyway. So Chuck, because he is at the bottom of the table, he's actually on pole. So I'm sure it all makes sense now. So Chuck is on pole. Fazer is just sitting behind him in second. Neil Farmack in third, Toby is 4th, Wadru is 5th, Fitzy is 6th. So that's the lineup for the GR1s. As I say, Brian Moncani and another is missing, and it will come to me in a minute, so I do apologise for that. For the GR3s then, Biggie out in front, Slowpoke, myself just behind him, Brownie in 9th. 10th is Osman, Unforgiven is 11th, Grasshopper is 12th, and Derview 86. Leading the league at the minute, topping the league, should I say, is all the way down at the back. So we'll go back up to the top. We will get the right camera and we'll get this race underway. And we will have a chat about tyres, rules, etc., etc. once we get started. So as Chuck takes us down across the start finish line, heads down towards turn 1, which is aptly named first curve. The Japanese don't like to overthink these corner names too much. So through turn 1 they go. Very fast turn actually. It's a sweeping right-hander, and then immediately you are into the S section. Quite a technical part of this, as Biggie leads the Group 3 guys through there, through turns 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an S section. Then as we go around Dunlop curve, which is turn 7, everybody's still there. As you see, Biggie, Slowpoke, Brownie, Osman leading us through. Dirk and Grasshopper already having a battle at the top now. Whoa dear, what's happened to Unforgiven? We've not even started yet. So let's just have a look and see whether it was of his own doing, or was he pushed? As we go around turn 1, as I say, a big sweeping right-hander, and then we go into the curves. Oh, now then, I think there may have been a little bit of bumper kissing going on there from Grasshopper. We'll just have one more quick look at this from Grasshopper's point of view. It's not for me to start. Ooh, well, I don't know. I think that was a bit of a... Could be one for the stewards to have a look at. I don't know. It's not for me to call that one. But Grasshopper carries on, and poor old Unforgiven ends up in the kitty litter, and a long way back now. So that's not the start he wanted. Exactly. Andy says, DJ, you dirty dog. And yes, absolutely. But like I say, I am totally impartial, so I won't get involved in that little argument. As we're seeing Chuck out there on the medium tyres, leading the way with Neil Farmack in second. Toby is in third. Now tyres, all tyre compounds have to be used, obviously not the wet or intermediate, unless the wet stuff starts to fall, but it's not scheduled on this race. So it is the softs, the mediums and the hards to be used, and I think it's a minimum of 2 laps. If anybody knows different, let me know, but I'm sure it's 2 laps minimum on each compound. After that, use what you like. As we see them heading down towards 130R. Now 130R is called 130R actually because of the radius of the corner, which is 130 metres. So there we go, we learn something new every day. Into the Casio Triangle, which is the chicane. Around turn 18, a bit of hustle and bustle going on, and we are across the start finish line to start into lap 2. So we'll start at the top. Chuck is still out in front, leading the way on the mediums. Neil Farmack, he's on the hard tyres, so Neil Farmack doing a fantastic job of keeping up with Chuck on the hard tyres. Then we've got Wadru, he's on the softs. Toby in 4th, he's on the hards as well. Then we've got Fitzy down in 5th, he's on the mediums. He's coming under a bit of an attack from Toby. Toby on the hards though, so he's going to struggle to keep Fitzy away. Toby on the hards, as I say, in 5th. Then we've got Phaser also on the hards down in 6th. Leading the way with the GR3s is Biggie, with myself hot on his tail, with Brownie just sitting behind us. A Biggie out there, he's on the soft tyres. Slowpoke also on the soft tyres. Brownie choosing to go with softs. Osman on the mediums. Then we've got Dirk on the hards. Now Dirk has moved up 2 places. Unforgiven and Grasshopper. Well, I don't know what's happened to Grasshopper. Whether he thought better of it and waited for Unforgiven, he may have done, or he may have had a bit of an issue himself, I don't know. But Grasshopper finds himself all the way down now in 13th behind Unforgiven. So those two have had a bit of a swap over. Whether, as I say, Grasshopper felt a bit guilty or not. If you are watching, DJ, let us know. Or even Alex. Right up to, oh, we've had a change of lead. Now let's just go back. Oh, we've had 2 changes of leads while we were watching that. So Woodrow in 3rd with Neil Farmack in 2nd. Has Chuck gone off? He has. Oh, what a shame for Chuck. As we're going around Dunlop curve down towards turn 8 and Degner curve, and Chuck out in front. Oh, he's got too much of the grass there, which has flipped him round and onto the gravel. What a shame for Chuck. He's going to have to wait till some of the cars go by, so that means Neil Farmack has now taken up the lead, but he's got Wadru all over the back of him. Let's go on board with Wadru as we go around the hairpin, turn 11 into 200R. And guess what? That is called 200R because of the radius. Yes, this Japanese, like I say, not very inventive. But through turn 12 they go, into 13 and in spoon curve, 13 and 14. Now good exit's exactly what you want, and this is where Wadru must have made the move. He's got into the slipstream of Neil Farmack as they head up towards, I forgot what it's called now, it's completely got me, mind went completely blank then, into Casio Triangle, which is the chicane. Or as Wadru and Neil Farmack are fighting it out. But Neil Farmack seemed to get a little bit out of sorts there. He's let Fitzy through as well, so Fitzy took full advantage of Neil Farmack there. Wadru takes the lead, Fitzy moves into second, and Neil Farmack has to slot into third. So he's had a little bit of a moment, hasn't he, Neil? But he does need to stick with these guys. Fitzy doing a good job on the mediums as well. Obviously going to go a little bit further into this race than Wadru. But Neil Farmack on the hard, so he was never really going to keep Wadru and Fitzy behind him for long, and now he's coming under a bit of attack from Toby, but Toby also on the hard, so maybe Neil and Toby can make a bit of a race of it. Chuck unfortunately down in 5th with Phaser in 6th. Back up to the G3s, GR3s as Biggie gets himself a little out of sorts there coming into the S's, but manages to hold on to the lead. He's still got Slowpoke sticking to him, and he is getting right under the wing of Biggie's BMW. Brownie in the Porsche in 9th. It looks like he's getting a bit frustrated by the two guys in front of him. He certainly looks quicker. So Brownie doing everything he can to get by these two, but they're just forming a rolling roadblock, aren't they? Slowpoke and Brown and Biggie. Brownie being very frustrated, sitting in 9th. Then we've got a couple of car lengths back to Osman in the Supra, but we do know how quick Osman is, so he's going to soon catch up and maybe even nick a couple of these places from these guys. Dirk's made his way up to 11th with Unforgiven and Grasshopper down in 12th and 13th. So Grasshopper really falling off the pace at the minute. He's doing a 2:06 on lap 2. Unforgiven a 2:01. Dirk 2:03. So yeah, Grasshopper is really down on pace, isn't he? Back up to our leader at the minute is Wadru. Out in front on the soft tyres. He's really got to make them work, and he is doing. You can see the gap starting to open up back to Fitzy, who is on the medium tyres. Fitzy just has to sort of stay in touching distance of Wadru. Pit stops are going to be key in this race. Now the guys can pit whenever they want. There is no pit window, so we'll just have to see. And well, the tyres on Wadru's car's not too bad actually, so he's got he's got a good few laps left in him yet, so he's obviously, Wadru's going to try and get as much distance as he can between himself and the rest of the pack, so that when he does pit, he can try and get out in front. Obviously that's the ideal situation. Fitzy in second with Neil still in third, Toby in fourth. Bit of a gap then back to Chuck, and likewise with Phaser in sixth. So Chuck and Phaser having a bit of a lonely race at the minute. But on the hard tyres is Phaser, Chuck is on the mediums, so whether Phaser will go a bit further into this race or he's going to pit anytime soon now. He's done his mandatory 2 to 3 laps. I can't remember, is it 2 or 3? I don't know. He's done his mandatory laps anyway. So Phaser can come in and get rid of them hard tyres if he's struggling on them. In the GR3 race then, Biggie is still leading that one, and he's still got Slowpoke for company just sitting behind him. Brownie is still there being frustrated by the two guys in front of him. Osman now right up to the back of Brownie. What's Osman? He's on the medium tyres. So I think that all the guys in front are on the softs. So Biggie, Slowpoke and Brownie, yeah, they're all on the soft tyres. So Osman on the mediums. So he can get another couple of laps out of them. So he can take the lead when them three come in for a pit stop. Dirk's still down in 11th. Not under any pressure whatsoever from Unforgiven. And likewise with him, he is no pressure at all from Grasshopper. And Grasshopper, I'm not sure what's happened to him tonight. It is not like him to be at the back of the pack. But that's where he is, in 13th on the medium tyres. He's usually pretty good on the medium tyres as well, is Grasshopper, but he finds himself down in 13th at the minute. So it won't be long before the GR1 cars are catching up and lapping the GR3s, and that's where it all gets very interesting as we see Wadru going through Casio chicane, followed by Fitzy. Then we've got Neil Farmack, Toby, Jock, Fazer, no change there. Biggie still leading this one as we see Slowpoke and Brownie battling away. Slowpoke desperately trying to keep Brownie behind him. Brownie just getting really frustrated, but that's when mistakes start to kick in. Oh, right on cue. Hey Brian, how are you? Hope you're feeling better. Now then, I just need to find Brownie, and I don't want to put him through any more pain than is necessary, but we do need to have a look at this and see what happened. But I'm just going to go back just a little bit more and change the camera because I just want to make sure there wasn't contact. I know there wasn't any contact, but we'll see it from his point of view. He's having a great battle there with Slowpoke as we're coming into Degner Curve, then into turn 9, and just as we're about to go under the bridge, oh, the back end just carried on going around for Brownie. Did well actually to hold on to it, and he's got himself back on the tarmac and up and racing very quickly. That could have been a lot worse for him, but obviously it's allowed the two guys in front just to get away from him. So unfortunate for Brownie, he didn't really want that, and now he's got Osman all over the back of him. Brian, feeling a lot better. Fever yesterday? Yeah, good. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better, mate. Oh, Suzuka's not your favourite track either. Well, is that why you were sick then? You just didn't want to race it and couldn't think of an excuse? I wish I'd have thought of that one. Back to the racing then. Derg in 11th, Unforgiven, and Grasshopper still all the way down in the back, although it does look like Grasshopper's making a bit of ground now on Unforgiven. The lap times are starting to come down at 2:02. Wadru, yeah, Brian, like I say, I wish I'd have thought of that one. Wadru out in front, doing a fantastic job on those soft tyres. I think the gap is not as big as he would like it. Fitzy, I would say, he's doing a better job of trying to stick with Wadru. Wadru's lap times, let's have a look. So he's got the fastest lap, a 1:44.5. His last lap was a 1:44.6, and if you look at that for consistency, 44, 44, 44, 44, that's fantastic driving from Wadru. Fitzy, he's around the 44, 45s as well, so on the medium tyres, there's not much in it. As we're now approaching the back markers and the GR, not back markers, the GR1s are overtaking the GR3s now. Wadru is going to have to try and pick his way through the pack, and this is where it starts to get interesting. Fitzy, he's just coming up to Grasshopper, I believe. Yes, he is. As we've gone through the S's, we go round Dunlop Curve. Fitzy manages to get by Grasshopper okay. Now, I do know, I say this a lot, the GR3 cars do not have to get out of the way. It's up to the guys in the faster cars to find a way through, to be patient, look for a good overtaking spot and then go for it. The GR3s do not have to move off of the racing line, especially if they're racing themselves. We do try it and move out of the way for them, obviously, and well, I'm not going to lie, it is bloody scary. You are just driving along, enjoying the view, listening to the radio, then all of a sudden there's 2 and 3 cars right up your arse, and it's a bit unnerving sometimes. As we see Phaser get by Chuck in 6, so Phaser and Chuck at the back of the GR1 pack. Biggie still out in front, doing a great job. He's Biggie leading this GR3 challenge. Still got Slowpoke behind him, so I'm still in there. The brakes have not quite failed me just yet. They do. I'll show a bit of spoiler for you. They do fail me, but not at the minute. Osman is in 9th. Let's have a look. Osman, I thought I'd just seen a GR1 going by. Probably did and missed it. Fitzy's coming up towards Osman now. It's again in the S's. Now can Fitzy get by? I know Osman will try and stay out of his way, but he still needs to concentrate on his own pace, doesn't he? Dirksen in 10th. He's still on the hard tyres he started with. Now Unforgiven in the pits. So Unforgiven was the first one to pull the trigger and has come into the pits. So up to our race leader then, Wadru. Tyres now starting to look a bit sorry for themselves. Plenty of fuel in the tank for Wadru. Fitzy, tyres looking a lot more healthy on Fitzy's car. Currently sitting in 2nd. You can see Wadru up ahead, so Wadru will start to lose a little bit of grip. Well, round about now, not that you'd notice, Wadru is that good. You wouldn't notice he's losing grip, but I can assure you he does. Toby sitting in 3rd, he's just managed to get by Slowpoke there. Bit of a gap opening up, as you can see, between Slowpoke and Biggie. And I think that was where one of them moments where the brakes decided they weren't going to play ball for me. Biggie coming under attack from Toby, and he's got Neil Farmack coming up behind him very quickly as well as they go into Casio Triangle. Slowpoke gets through. Osman just sitting in 9th now. And Wadru, race leader, has come into the pits. They must have heard me mention the tyre wear, so Wadru is in. So where is Phaser? Phaser just coming up through the chicane. Now is Phaser coming in, or is he going to stay out a bit longer? He's on the hard tyres, so he can stay out. Wadru is out, so Wadru gets back out into 4th. Phaser not close enough to take that P4 away from Wadru, so Wadru back out in 4th on medium tyres. The 3 guys in front of him have not pitted. Neil Farmack on the hard tyres, he's got plenty of life left in them, so it's just how far he wants to go into this race. Toby also on the hard tyres, sitting in 2nd, with Fitzy on the mediums, now leading this race. And well, he's still got plenty of life left. There's only about, what, 35-40% gone in those tyres, half tank of fuel. So it's Fitzy's turn now to try and get some distance between himself and the guys behind him. As we go down the pack, Chuck is in 5th, Phaser is in 6th, Biggie still in 7th and leading the GR3 challenge on the original soft tyres he started with, although they are looking very sorry for themselves now. Slowpoke likewise, okay for fuel, but the tyres are starting to give up. Osman on the medium tyres, they're probably at their best now, and it's starting to show. He is getting right under the rear wing of Slowpoke. Let's jump on board with Osman as we come up through 130R up towards the chicane, and in we go, trying to keep it all nice and tight. I think this is where we pit, yeah. So Slowpoke into the pits. Osman now moves up to 8th, and under no pressure whatsoever. A bit of clean air in front of him, so he can get his foot down now and get after Biggie. But Biggie has stayed out. He is on the soft tyres. Actually doing really well is Biggie, because he must be struggling now with the wear on those tyres. Osman is, well, he's looking good. I think it's not going to be long before he's on to the back of Biggie. Derg has now moved up to 9th as Chuck tries to go by him. Derg obviously on the hard tyres, so it'll be fuel more than tyres that Derg has to come in for. Grasshopper now moved up into 10th. Brownie on 11th, should I say. He's already made a stop and put some fresh medium tyres on. Slowpoke out on medium tyres as well, on a full tank of fuel. And then Unforgiven, he's out on the hard tyres. And another, well, it looks like a splash of fuel actually for Unforgiven. But he is a long way off, isn't he? Where he normally is, yeah. Unforgiven, he's usually a lot further up the field than that. So there must be something wrong with Unforgiven or his car. Meanwhile, our overall race leader, Fitzy, desperately trying to get away from Toby as Toby comes into turn 1. Let's jump on board and do a lap with Toby, shall we? So we've gone around turn 1, we're into 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. This is the S's. We're through turn 5 into 6. And then into Dunlop curve. This sweeping left-hander. Then we head down the hill towards turn 8, Degner curve, which is a bit of a sharp right-hander really. Bang, there we go. Into turn 9, under the bridge. Or the cross. Oh no, Toby! We were hoping you were going to take us for a full lap. And, well, he did the same as Brownie, really. We've gone through turn 8, turn 9. It just caught the curve. Too much power, too many cocktails. I think you're right for Unforgiven. Too many cocktails while in Croatia on his scouting mission. But oh Toby, that was so unlucky. Still in 3rd, so not a lot of damage done really. I mean, well, technically of course he's got damage, but you know what I mean. So Toby in 3rd, Woodrow in 4th. Now I'm not sure he would be fully aware of Toby's little mishap. All he will have seen is that Toby is now right in front of him, and it gives him something to chase. Took that corner superbly, didn't he? I think I take that corner different every time I approach it. But Wadru just makes it look so easy, doesn't he? So let's just have a roll down the pack and see where we are. Biggie still out on the original soft tyres. What a fantastic run from Biggie. He's still in 7th spot. He is now on his 10th lap on those soft tyres. What a fantastic run he's having. As we just saw somebody else come into the pits and back out again. It's Toby that's come into the pits. As we were watching Biggie, he must surely be coming into the pits now as he goes up the hill and into 130R for the 10th time, heads towards the chicane. Now I'm just going to stick with Biggie and see if he does come into the pits, because those tyres will not last another lap, surely. Where's he gone? What's the cameraman looking at? I don't know what he spotted. A bit of a nature lover or something. Sort of spotted warbler in the field or something then. Yeah, Biggie into the pits. So Osman will take over as leader of the GR3 race. Derg has moved up to 8th or 2nd. We have this every week, don't we? Is he 3rd or is he 2nd? Derg is actually 8th on the grid, but 2nd in the GR3 race. Grasshopper moves up into 9th. As we go around turn 1 with Grasshopper, we'll find somebody to do a complete lap within a minute without coming off. Then we've got Brownie down in 10th. Biggie is out now on a fresh set of medium tyres in 11th, coming under attack from Slowpoke again. So these two carrying on where they left off before. Slowpoke just manages to get ahead of Biggie this time though, so it's Biggie's time to chase. So Slowpoke up to 11th, Biggie in 12th, Unforgiven down in 13th. He's just been lapped by Wadru. So back up to our current race leader. Let's have a look at the fuel, shall we? He's got plenty of fuel, just over quarter of a tank. Tyres are about 50%, so Fitzy looking good for a few laps yet. As we go through turn 8 into turn 9. Well, this is where Toby made a mistake, but Fitzy gets it done easily there. Up through turn 10 and then into the hairpin of turn 11, then through turn 12, which is 200R, up to Spoon Curve as Fitzy comes up behind Biggie and Slowpoke. Obviously Slowpoke Fitzy's teammate, so we're not going to get in his way, are we? Oh, Slowpoke picked up half-second penalty as well, so that's going to give Biggie the opportunity to get by as they head up the hill towards 130R as Fitzy picks a penalty up as well. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Fitzy picked a penalty up, but Fitzy picked one up as well, a half second. Neil Farmack in second. Wadru now moved up into third as he heads up the hill and through 130R into the Casio Triangle and the chicane. And then what we're going to do is we will jump on board with Wadru for a lap, shall we? As he goes around and across the start finish line to start lap 14. So 0.75 miles straight down into turn 1. Trying to keep it nice and tight. Great corner there from Wadru. Then we're into the S's, turn 2, then 3, then 4. A quick left right into turn 6 we go, then up into Dunlop Curve through turn 7. Then we're down the hill then towards turn 8. This is where Toby got it wrong a couple of laps ago. Wadru got to try and get by Derg as well as we go through turn 9. Under the bridge, or the crossover, up through turn 10 into the hairpin. Careful with the accelerator, and then hard down into turn 12 and 200R as we go by Biggie, and then we can see Slowpoke just ahead up towards Spoon Curve. Trying to keep it as smooth as we can. Good driving there from Wadru, didn't really want to push that, did he? And then we start up the hill then, through the back stretch to 130R. No lift at all there, full throttle through 130R into the chicane and the Casio Triangle. Through turn 18 and on to the start finish straight again, and that's the lap completed with Wadru currently sitting in third. So just going up to our race leader, we'll have a rundown of the grid, shall we? Fitzy still out in front, quarter of a tank of fuel, tyres not looking too bad, they are on the mediums. Bit of a distance back then is Neil Farmack, he's on the hard tyres, again quarter of a tank of fuel. Wadru, who we've just been following, he's sitting in third on newish medium tyres. Toby sitting in fourth. Then we've got Phaser still on the original hards is Phaser. Chuck is in sixth, he's out now. They look like fresh soft tyres, so Chuck has come in, it doesn't look like he's took on much fuel. So he's obviously got some sort of tactic up his sleeve. Then we've got the leader of the Group 3 race, we've got Osman. He's on, it looks like the original medium tyres, and fuel is getting low for Osman. Then we've got Grasshopper in 8th. His fuel is definitely low and will need to pit very shortly. Brownie in 9th. having made an earlier stop. Then we've got Slowpoke in 10th, and oh, Derg is in 11th, but it's Biggie. What has happened to Biggie? It looks like he's come out of the hairpin and maybe got on the gas a bit too early. You see Slowpoke go through there. Biggie follows him through. Always, well, I think it was a bit of a combination of a bit too much gas and rear tyre on the green stuff, and that curb just hugged him and pulled him around. That is so unlucky for Biggie. He was having a fantastic race up to that point. He will be cussing and cursing under that visor. And then we've got Unforgiven way down the field, and we will try and find out what has happened to Unforgiven, because he is a long way off. So again, Fitzy up at the pointy bit, going through the S's. Neil Farmack just going through turn 1 now. He's got Wadru fast approaching, and if we can just try and get a shot of them both, we might be able to see what the distance is. The problem with these replays is you can't actually see what the distance is between the two of them. There we go. So Neil just goes through. He's on to Dunlop Curve already, and Wadru comes through now. So Toby down in 4th. He's trying desperately to get by Brownie. Brownie seems to be struggling a little bit. I'm not sure why. Fazer in 6th. So Osman, then Brownie. Brownie's in 8th, but he looked like he was struggling a little bit then. But he is actually in 2nd position at the minute. Derg down in 9th. Oh, Derg has made a stop. That's why he's dropped a space. Derg has actually made his stop, and he's now out on medium tyres. He's took some fuel on board as well. He's got Slowpoke just behind him. Grasshopper in 11th. He's just having a bit of a fight with Biggie at the minute, and Biggie now gets himself on the inside, and Grasshopper, he's trying to fight back as they've gone through turn 9 there, up to the hairpin. Biggie gets there first. Grasshopper just sticking with him, trying to get the cut back, but Biggie's he's on the accelerator as well, and he's pulling away. So Biggie fighting with Grasshopper now. Let's just have a look what tyres Biggie's got on. He's on the mediums. Grasshopper is on the hard tyres. So Grasshopper actually, he's oh, a bit of a slide there. I was going to say he's doing a great job on those hard tyres, but he did get a little bit twitchy there as Biggie goes through that spoon curve. And they start up the hill. Grasshopper trying to get into the slipstream of Biggie as they go up towards 130R, or 130R, sorry. For lap 14, we've got Chuck fast approaching. He's going to want to try and get through these two before he gets to the chicane. He's past Grasshopper, but he can't get past Biggie, so he's just going to have to sit there and wait for a second. You do not want to risk anything going through that chicane. Get onto the straight as he's done. Great driving from Chuck to get by Biggie. Very patient there, so well done to him. Biggie then still in 11th. Grasshopper, let's go on board with Grasshopper as we go through turn 1, trying to keep it as smooth as you can. You don't want to lose too much speed through that turn, and then we're into turn 3, then 4. Oh, we've got Fazer now. Fazer's going to try and find a route through. Now, obviously Grasshopper's going to be aware he's there, but Grasshopper's got a job to do himself. So Fazer's just going to have to be patient, and that's exactly what he's doing. So good driving from Fazer, really. He's trying to pick his moment. And is it now? Yes, it is. He's gone for it. Oh, and he's just gone for it at the wrong time. We will, if we can find him, we're going to go back and have a quick look at that, because I think Fazer was doing everything right. As we go around Dunlop Curve, he's sitting there, he's being patient. He's waiting for a gap, but he just chooses at the wrong time into turn 8, and he just couldn't get the car slowed down enough, could he, to make that turn, and that's the result. He's ended up on the grass and having a kiss with Barry R. That's not what Fazer wanted. If he'd have just waited until we'd have gone round turn 9, he could have made the move up before they reached the hairpin. So that's unlucky for Fazer. Unforgiven. Well, looks like Unforgiven's going to be putting Fazer under a bit of a pressure. Yes. I bet Unforgiven couldn't believe that. He's overtaken a GR1 car as Fazer will retake that place back. Obviously he's going to get by Unforgiven, but I bet Unforgiven's wondering what's going on. Unforgiven down in where is Unforgiven? He's down in 13. So up to our race leader is Woodrow. This is after, with all that commotion that's going on, we missed the pit stop, but Fitzy came into the pits and has put a fresh set of soft tyres on. He's got half a tank of fuel. Woodrow on worn mediums. He's also on half a tank. Let's just see what the gap is. Excuse for a quick drink as well, actually. So Woodrow has just gone through Spoon Curve and he's up towards 130R. Fitzy just coming through Spoon Curve now and has got onto the back stretch. So the gap, he's going to be, I don't know, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, I don't know. It's difficult to tell from here as Woodrow goes through the chicane, through turn 18 and onto the start-finish straight. Now, where's Fitzy? Fitzy just coming through the chicane now and onto the start-finish. So they are, well, we know the straight is 0.75 miles long. So that's the distance between the two of them. Toby into the pits, he was in third. So where is Neil Farmack? Let's have a look. He's just going through the chicane now. Toby, has he reached the pit crew yet? No, he hasn't. So Neil Farmack will go through and take that third spot away from Toby. Still no fuel going into Toby's car. He's just reached them now. Chuck is on his way up the back straight. So I think Toby's going to get out of the pits before Chuck can get to him. You can see the fuel going in, and there we go. Toby fully fueled. Change of tyres, and he's back out now in fourth as Chuck goes through the chicane as he tries to get by Osman, get onto the straight and then do it. So Chuck staying in fifth with Fazer still in sixth. Osman in seventh, or first of the GR3s is Osman. Quite a healthy gap between himself and Derg at the minute. Osman, he's made a pit stop and he is out on the hard tyres as well. Not a lot of fuel, so I think it looks like he's going to do the minimum on those hards. Derg on the medium tyres, just sitting behind him in 8th. We've got Slowpoke in 9th. Grasshopper in 10th. Biggie in 11th. So the battle between Grasshopper and Biggie was won by Grasshopper. We've got Brownie down in 12th. Just dropped off the pace a little bit. Well, he's actually coming for a pit stop, so that may be why he's down in 12th. And he is on the hard tyres, so you've got to get them up to temperature. And then Unforgiven, well, we're still waiting to find out what happened to Unforgiven. But our race leader, so at the minute it is teammate bookending this race. Woodrow is in first and Unforgiven is in last at the minute. Woodrow doing a good job. It doesn't look like Fitzy's caught him up. Let's have a look. Well, no, I'm looking at somebody else. So the gap, well, I'd say the gap has closed. I think Fitzy has closed the gap on Woodrow. There we go. We just caught a glimpse of Fitzy coming up to the hairpin then as we followed Woodrow through. Fitzy in second then. Neil Farmack still in third. Having a bit of a lonely stint. Nobody in front, nobody behind. So Neil Farmack under no pressure whatsoever. Toby in fourth. He's the same. He's under no pressure as well. Same with Chuck. and Phaser, so all the GR1 cars are really spread out. The GR3's Osman, he's all on his own as well. Derg sitting in 8th, Slowpoke in 9th, then we've got Grasshopper in 10th, with Biggie in 11th. We just see Wadru just coming up to the back of Grasshopper. Brownie in 12th with Unforgiven down in 13th. So race leader then, Wadru really romping away with this at the minute. Toby got the fastest lap though, a 1:43.8. And Wadru, well, the pace has really dropped off for Wadru. His last lap was a 1:47, a 1:46 the lap before that, 1:45 the lap before that. So each lap he's getting a little bit slower, so maybe he is losing a bit of grip on those medium tyres. He's coming up to the back of Slowpoke. He should be able to get by him quite successfully here. Got a wide section of track. So Wadru goes through. Fitzy getting by Grasshopper just after the hairpin. Down through turn 12, up to 13 and Spoon Curve. This big, long, sweeping double left-hander with turns 13 and 14. Then we start back up the hill through 130R up towards Casio Triangle and this chicane. Gross Fitzy. So have we got any pit stops coming up? Let's have a guess, shall we? We'll see who's going to come in next. Wadru, I think he's going to go for a good few laps yet. Fitzy, no need for him to come in. Neil Farmack definitely will not be coming in the next well, 5 or 6 laps, I wouldn't imagine. Neither will Toby. I think all the pit stops have been done. No, Chuck will be the next one in. Currently in 5th. Tyres not looking too fantastic, and more importantly the fuel is very quickly running out. The other thing with these GR1 cars, these hybrids, is obviously trying to keep the battery charged. Little tip is, well, I don't know, I'm just going on what I hear, is to just keep your foot on the brake as you go through some of the longer turns, and it helps charge the battery a little bit quicker, give you that boost. But Chuck heading up towards 130R, is he going to come into the pits at the end of this lap? Let's have a look where Phaser is. Well, Phaser is a long way off, isn't he? So if Chuck does pit, and why not? Let's just have a look. Does he stay to the right? No, he's decided he's going to get one more lap out of it. I don't see the point myself. He should have come in really, because Phaser's nowhere near him. But Chuck has obviously got a game plan and he's sticking to it. Osman, I was going to say battling it out with Wadru, but he's not, is he? Oh, and Fitzy is right up the back of Wadru. Well, I'm just going to go back. I'm not sure if something happened, because there, yes, Wadru just coming up to the back of Osman. I thought that gap had closed very quickly. So Wadru gets around the hairpin and he's trying to get by, he's trying to get by Osman, and he gets up, well, I don't think he was forced off the track. Let's just have another look at that. I'm pretty sure that Osman just was not aware that Wadru was there, and Wadru, he's onto the gravel and the grass, a bit of a side swipe with the barrier, could have been a lot worse, but that has put dirt on the tyres, and you can see just in the distance Fitzy, he's now bearing down on Wadru. Wadru really struggling with that car to get through this turn. As I say, he's got a lot of dirt and grit on those tyres, and now Fitzy is right up behind him, and well, he is after him, isn't he? Let's go on board with Fitzy. Fitzy can smell blood, I think. He is after Wadru. Wadru has got to get those tyres cleaned. Fitzy on the racing softs, Oh, and Wadrew's decided to come in, so yeah, he is going to get them tyres cleaned. He has decided that fighting Fitzy is not a good idea, and he wants to try and get himself out where he's not having to battle. Fitzy carries on through then and takes over as race leader. Wadrew into the pits. He's going to get some fresh boots on and try and get some clean air. Let's just have a look where Neil Farmack is. Neil Farmack is just coming around turn 18 and down the start finish straight. Wadrew on his way out, so Wadrew rejoins in second. Now he will have a bit of clean air in front of him, so he can concentrate on trying to catch up to the back of Fitzy, but Wadrew is on the hard tyres. Maybe this is going to be it now. He's worked the fuel out. He's decided to go on hard till the end of the race now. Fitzy, I think, will have to pit again, so he really does need to get some distance between himself and Wadrew. Neil Farmack sitting in third. Let's just have a look where Toby is, and well, Toby's quite a way off, isn't he? So Neil's not going to come under any pressure whatsoever. Chuck into the pits. This will be his final stop. Just a little bit of thimble full of fuel in there for Chuck, so he just made it back to the pits. Fazer, he is just coming around turn 9 and going under the overpass, should we call it? Crossover? That's what the proper name for it is. But through the hairpin goes Fazer in 6th position. I'll leave it now. So Osman's sitting in 7th. He has got Dirk though right up in his mirrors, and it looks like Osman's diving to the pits. He has, so Osman comes into the pits. Dirk takes over as leader of the GR3 the race on the medium tyres. Osman's still in the pits. Slowpoke, where is he? He is just coming around turn 18 now. Osman, there's no fuel going in that car yet, so Slowpoke will move through and up into 8th. Osman, now the fuel's going in. Grasshopper, he also goes up and nicks a place off of Osman. Biggie goes through. So Osman, oh no, Biggie didn't get through. Yes, he did. Biggie did get through. Osman just rejoins just behind Biggie, but he is out on the soft tyres. So Osman, this should take him to the end of the race. He's currently in 11th. He's got Biggie up ahead in front of him on some worn medium tyres. So Osman, he's going to be on a mission now, isn't he? Then we've got Grasshopper in 9th with Slowpoke in 8th. Let's have a look. Few seconds, about 4 or 5 seconds between Slowpoke and Grasshopper. And then Derg, well, he is a good, I would say, 8-9 seconds ahead of Slowpoke in 7th. Brownie down in 12th, and Unforgiven. Now, Unforgiven, we've had a note come through to the commentary office, and apparently Unforgiven came into the pits, parked the car up, jumped out, and ran to the back of the pit garage, where he then proceeded to pee into a bucket. An eyewitness who was standing quite close by said that there wasn't really anything to look at, so no dramas there. As Unforgiven jumped back into the car and off he went again, and that's why he was so far behind. So unscheduled pit stop for Unforgiven, but he has managed to get by Brownie. So Brownie, well, I don't know, is Brownie struggling on the hard tyres? I'm not sure, but Unforgiven has gone through. Will he make it to the end of the race though? The fuel is getting very low for Unforgiven. Brownie's going to be okay to the end of the race, I'm sure. Slowpoke into the pits then for his final stop. Let's have a look where Unforgiven is. Unforgiven has just come around turn. No, Unforgiven is now into the pits. Is Brownie coming in as well? No, he's going to stay out. I thought he would. There's no need for him to come into the pits at all. So Brownie moves up into 11th. Slowpoke's going to rejoin in 12th with Unforgiven in 13th. Back up to our overall leader, which is Fitzy. Let's have a look now. There's quite a gap now back to Wadru, isn't there? Now, has Wadru made another stop? I must have missed that. But Wadru on the hard tyres with half a tank of fuel. Fitzy 26 out of 30. So we've got about I can't work it out now. About another 8 laps, is it, to go? So I think Fitzy is going to have to stop. You can see the fuel has gone red. So Fitzy will have to stop. Now, Wadru, although he is quite a way back, and we have got somebody sitting at turn 1 now. What's that all about? Who is it? Oh, it's Unforgiven. Well, there we go. Well, I don't know. We'll leave it at that, shall we? So back up to no, actually I think this, I've just been told this is where Unforgiven had to go toilet. He just pulled up at turn 1, got out and started to pee up against the wall. So not ideal in the middle of a race, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. But that's put Unforgiven all the way down into 13th. Fitzy, as we were saying, is going to have to pit. And where is Wadru? Wadru is just going through turn 12 now and up towards Spoon Curve. So just keep an eye on Fitzy. Is he going to come in this lap? He is just coming up behind his teammate. I'm not sure what the cameraman's looking at that chicane, but yes, Fitzy is in. So all eyes on Wadru as he heads up towards 130R. Fitzy not reached the pit crew yet. No fuel going in. So through 130R goes Wadru up towards Casio Triangle and through the chicane. Still no fuel going into Fitzy's car. This is so frustrating. The fuel is starting to go in now as Wadru goes around turn 18 and across the start finish line. Fitzy is on his way out of the pits. He has gone onto the hard tyres. Where is Wadru? There he is. So Fitzy has managed to get back out in front, but he is on the hard tyres and he's got Wadru chasing him down. And this is going to be the battle to the end of the race, both on the hard tyres. Excuse me. Wadru now desperately trying to catch up to the back of Fitzy. Toby sitting in 3rd. He's all on his own and under no pressure whatsoever. Neil Farmack likewise in 4th, no pressure. Chuck is in 5th. Phaser has come in to make his final stop of the race. Onto the GR3s, we've got Osman leading the way in 7th, Biggie in 8th, Derg is in 9th. Derg has made his final stop and is out on soft tyres. He was doing everything he can to catch up to the back of Biggie. Well, he doesn't have to. Biggie's going to have to make a stop, isn't he? He is about out of fuel. So that's unlucky for Biggie. Where is Derg? Derg is just coming around turn 18 now. That cameraman is obsessed with looking something, isn't he, at the chicane. But Derg is going to go through to take 8th. Biggie still in the pits. Brownie as he comes through turn and around turn 18. Now we've had a change of lead, so and I am going to go back and have a look and see what happened while we were watching the excitement further down the field. Wadru managed to get right onto the back of Fitzy. Now, did Fitzy make a mistake, or is it just cold tyres? Fresh cold tyres. Maybe it was a bit of a mistake there as we went through turn 8 into turn. Oh no, Fitzy! He has done what a few have done before him. That is so unlucky. It is cold tyres, fresh cold tyres. We go through turn 8 into turn 9 and too much power, and the back end just comes round on him. That is so unlucky for Fitzy. What a great race he was having as well, but that has put Wadru out in front. Damage to the front of that car as well for Fitzy, and now he's going to have Toby all over the back of him as well. We have about 7 laps to go. Well, I don't know what to say. Not that I'm biased or anything, but I really didn't want Fitzy to do that. Deep breaths. Oh, as Toby goes very wide, that will help Fitzy out. But from Fitzy's point of view, it is just deep breaths. Calm down and get on with it. And see if you can get back up to the back of Wadru. I bet he couldn't believe his luck to find himself out there in P1 again. So Fitzy in second, Toby is third, Neil Farmack, Chuck, then Fazer, Osman in 7th with Derg in 8th, Grasshopper moved up into 9th, Brownie is 10th, Slowpoke in 11th, then we've got Biggie, and then Unforgiven after his toilet stop down in 13th, and way off the pace now for Unforgiven. So up to our current race leader with 6 laps to go, and Wadru is going to have to try and find his way through the traffic again as he comes up against the GR1 cars. Not been that many accidents actually. I thought with a tighter, twisty, turny course like Suzuka, we'd have had a few more near misses. Maybe we have, maybe I've just missed them. As Wadru comes up to the back of Slowpoke at the hairpin, just takes his time, picks his moment. That's the way to do it. So Fitzy still in second, and Toby is not that far behind now. Toby is on the softer compound tyres, albeit slightly worn. But let's just have a look at the lap time, shall we? So we'll forget the last one, 209, but 202, well no, that must have been before the tyre change, so obviously we can't really get a gauge of the lap times, can we? We can with Toby. He's 146, 146, 145. So Toby putting in some decent laps. Wadru in the 147s. He is on the hard tyres. Toby with the current fastest lap of 43, 143.8. So he's not messing about, is he, Toby? We can see Fitzy up ahead. I think this is where the race is going to be towards the end. It's going to be Toby trying to catch up with Fitzy. We can see Slowpoke doing his best to hold Toby up. Let his teammate get away, but Toby gets by. Slowpoke, I didn't really hold him up. Not intentionally anyway. Sorry Toby, I didn't do anything intentionally. If I did, I was having trouble with my brakes, I promise. Neil Farmack in 4th, Chuck in 5th, Fazer down in 6th. Then we've got Osman, Derg in 8th, Grasshopper in 9th, Brownie 10th, Slowpoke in 11th with Biggie just behind in 12th, and then Unforgiven down there. So we're just trying to pick where the battle seems to be, and it really does seem to be with Fitzy and Toby. Fitzy just managing to stay ahead at the minute. He's just keeping a couple of seconds gap between himself and Toby. 5 laps to go. Fitzy's just got to hold on. Tyres should be warmed up by now. So we can see from the view there from Toby's car, you can just see, can we see round the corner of that tree? Looking for the back end of Fitzy's car, there it is, as Fitzy goes through 130R. Toby now going through. It looked like Grasshopper there, yeah, well they got through before the chicane. So both Fitzy and Toby managed to get by Grasshopper with no dramas. And Neil Farmack is on his own. Chuck, he is on his own. He's got to get by Unforgiven, but done it easily enough there. Fazer in 6th. Osman, Derg, so no real battles in the GR3 cars. No, nothing. So we're just going to stick with Fitzy and Toby, I think. We'll jump on board with Toby, and you can see he's got a lot closer to Fitzy now as he rattles that car around turn 7, down the hill to 8. So through Degner Curve. This is where he made the mistake earlier on in the race. Ooh, and very nearly loses it again. Bit of the commentator's curse there kicking in. Like I say, I'm not biased towards Fitzy. What? One little bit. As Toby tries to chase Fitzy down. They're both trying to get through Derg now as they enter Spoon Curve. Oh, and Toby slowed down by Derg there. And remember, Derg doesn't have to move out of his way. He can stay on his own racing line. It's up to Toby to find his way by. Does so successfully, and he can get after Fitzy again as they go up towards 130R for the 30th time in this race. Into Casio they go. Toby catching right up to the back of Fitzy under the braking. Around turn 18 onto the start finish, and down towards turn 1 they go. So Toby might be able to make a bit of ground up with the softer compound tyres as they go through these the S's. Obviously Fitzy's going to be fighting that car a little bit harder than Toby will. Obviously on the straights it's not going to make any difference whatsoever, but it is the turns that Toby can catch up, and obviously traffic ahead as Fitzy tries to go by Osman. Remember, it was that little collision that Wadro had with Osman that we thought had cost him the race, but then Fitzy makes a mistake and hands the lead back to Wadro again. So Wadro goes through turn 11. Fitzy and Toby just go through the hairpin now. Toby inching closer and closer to Fitzy as we get towards the end of this race. We'll just have a quick rundown just to see if anybody else is battling away. Neil in 4th, Jock long way back, is Jock in 5th, then Phaser in 6th, Osman in 7th, Berg in 8th, big gap between those two, then Grasshopper, Browley, Slowpoke, Biggie, and then Unforgiven. So gaps all over the place as we see the two teammates there side by side on the start finish straight. One leading the race, the other one propping the rest of the field up as Wadru goes around turn 1. So Wadru looks pretty safe at this stage. Don't want to put too much of a curse on it, but he's looking okay at the minute. Fitzy on the other hand, he's looking okay, but he is under a lot of pressure now from Toby. He will be looking in the mirrors. In fact, let's just go on board and see if we can have a look behind, and there we go. And there is Toby's car following us around Dunlop. Fitzy kicking up a bit of dirt, just trying to blind Toby, I think. As we now have to try and get by Unforgiven up towards the hairpin. Both Fitzy goes through and Toby, so into the hairpin, hard on the brakes. Toby just having to go a little bit wider to avoid the collision with the back end of Fitzy. Up towards turn 13 then. Using the gears to slow down through this section of corners, and then it is onto the straight, the back straight up the hill, the 130R. Toby trying to get in the slipstream. He's not going to get close enough to make any moves before they get to the chicane now. He does want to get close though. If he can get a good exit out of the chicane, and then through turn 18 he can get into Fitz's slipstream, and he might be able to make a move on him before they get to turn 1. But is Toby close enough? He's not. He's just going to have to sit there behind Fitzy again for another lap. And we are on lap 33 of 34, so we're just going to have to leave these two just for a second. And Neil Farmack looking comfortable for 4th. Chuck is in 5th. Wow, there's a big gap between Neil and Chuck. Fazer down in 6th. Leader of the GR3s then, Osman. He's looking good for that podium, with Dirk sitting in 8th or 2nd, and Grasshopper in 3rd. No challenge on Grasshopper whatsoever. Brownie sitting in 10th. Oh, the fuel lights flashing, and now then, is he going to come in? Surely he's got to come in and fuel up, which is a real shame for Brownie. Well, no, he's not. He stayed out. Well, let's just hope he can get another lap out of that car. He's going to have to do some serious fuel saving. He's coming under a bit of pressure now from Slowpoke as they go around turn 1. Slowpoke catching with every turn, so I'm guessing that Brownie is just let's just have a look and see where the gear changes are coming for Brownie, because I'm guessing he's just going to have to fuel save now. Whether he just didn't notice, or he thinks he can get another lap out of that Porsche, I'm not sure, but the fuel is not looking great for Brownie. Yeah, he's really taking his time on that throttle, isn't he? As they go through turn 9, oh, Slowpoke going a little bit wide, manages to get back on track though. The fuel light's still flashing at Brownie. I'm just curious to see if he can limp that Porsche back. It is looking very dicey at the minute as we head up towards turn 13, as Chuck goes flying by the pair of them. Slowpoke now tucked right under the rear wing of Brownie's Porsche. Into turn 13 we go. Now Slowpoke gets a decent exit here. Surely he will go by Brownie down the back straight. And there we go. Now I do think that Brownie is fuel saving, because he is going to run out of fuel if he starts planting his foot down. So that's unlucky for Brownie. He was having a good race. Biggie down in 12th, then Unforgiven, so back up to the top. Let's just have a look what we're happening as Wadru is on his final lap as he goes through 130R for the last time into the chicane through turn 8. Cameraman, I don't know what he's looking at. But Wadru will cross the line to take the win, and what a fantastic win it was. A good, hard-fought battle. Well done to Wadru. Fitzy coming in 2nd. Well done to him. Toby 3rd. Neil Farmack will cross the line in 4th. Chuck, he's going to come home in 5th. Now, will he be the next one to cross the line? There is quite a distance between Neil and Chuck, isn't there? Let's just see where everybody else is. If we've got anybody getting near the line. Unforgiven, I think. Oh, well, there we go as we go down. So Biggie has finished in 11th. Brownie's finished in 12th. I don't think he decided to push for another lap. Unforgiven will cross the line in 13th. Let's go back up. Chuck, well, we've already said Chuck will come 5th. Fazer will be 6th. So Fazer, oh, if he can get through the chicane successfully, Fazer will finish in 6th. Oh, Derg managed to get by Osman. Well, I'm just going to go. Let's just go back and have a quick look and see what happened to Osman. Osman was in 7th. Oh, he's Osman as well, running out of fuel. What a shame, that's two of them. So Osman runs out of fuel and hands the win to Derg. And that's what's happened there. Well, what a shame for Osman. We will move it on. So yeah, Derg finishes in 7th, winner of the GR3s. Is Grasshopper going to get across the line before Osman? He does. So Grasshopper comes in 8th. Osman limping back. Is he going to get token by Slowpoke? We don't know. No, I think Osman might just make it. He does. Osman just creeps across the line. He would have been quicker if he'd have got out and pushed. But Osman goes across the line for 9th, and Slowpoke is going to come home in 10th. That was round 7 at Suzuka. We are at Le Mans next week with the chicane, an ideal track for the GR1s, but a very long track for the GR3s. So if you can join me for that, it will be great to have you. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy these races, then please hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, if you could do so, it does help us out. And I personally really do appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching, and I shall catch you all again very